Hey there, how's it going? Good afternoon. I'm now in Santa Ana, the second largest city of El Salvador. I just did a 1 hour, 15-minute Uber ride from San Salvador, the capital and largest city of El Salvador. I spent 3 nights there. As you saw, my hotel there, $52, whereas this one is $32, and it is larger, all around nicer, faster Wi-Fi, and in a much better looking and more interesting neighborhood. And I will get out there and show you what's going on in this little city here soon. And so in general, then I would say prices in El Salvador are very, very reasonable, especially eating out. The transportation, Uber rides are super cheap. Getting around San Salvador, it was always $3 or $4 for, you know, like a 15-20 minute ride getting across the city. The traffic is really bad there, and speaking of which, I will tell a quick Uber story in a second, but they use the US dollar here in El Salvador. It is, you know, just exactly the same. You can bring your dollars, obviously same deal from the United States. They have these unique $1 US coins that I've shown in previous videos that were printed in the United States, of course, but then for whatever reason, $1 coins have never taken off in the United States, and so they always just kind of get you know, gobbled up by collectors or go elsewhere. So those $1 coins are in regular usage here in El Salvador, which is kind of cool. And so I have 3 nights here at this nice place here, and then from here, I'm not sure exactly, but I will be going to the coast one way or another, get over to the Bitcoin beach, El Zante, and experience the peaceful beach scene. But for tomorrow, I have a volcano tour already planned, $25 for an all-day tour, I guess, so that should be really amazing. A volcano just outside of Santa Ana here. I'll show the bathroom, pretty basic, but overall, it is a really nice spot here. The owner is super nice. Let's show the courtyard. So my Uber story, and then I will get out of here and go show more of the city. So yesterday, after I finished filming my video tour of San Salvador, then I was getting a little, you know, just wiped out and sort of overwhelmed by the heat and the intense crowds and everything, and so I decided to head back to my room. But the traffic, oh boy, we got oh, not a mosquito. Fortunately, I did see 2 mosquitoes in here though. Somehow they're getting in. But there were really bad traffic jams. I guess it was just getting into rush hour at around like 4 in the afternoon, and so I decided to walk a little ways, just a few blocks out of the super compact central area where it was just like traffic completely stopped. And so I walked over to a major street where the traffic was moving quite well, and then got on my phone and ordered an Uber, but it was going to take 12 minutes. So I took a seat in the shade and watched the phone, but then it kept being stuck on 12 minutes. 5 minutes later, 7 minutes later, and then finally it comes down to like 11 minutes, 10 minutes, but it was obviously going to take more than the 12 minutes for the Uber to get to me. And then a few minutes later, I look again and the ride has been dropped and automatically transferred over to another vehicle, which is farther away. And so, you know, what you're gonna do? I could have called a taxi, but I just feel more comfortable using Ubers around here. So I'm waiting. That Uber is making slow progress as well. Another 5-8 minutes pass, and then I check, and once again, it has been dropped and transferred to another driver who is even further away. Waiting. Finally, that guy gets there. It took 30 minutes just for the Uber to get to me, and then, you know, the traffic was bad getting back to my hotel, but that actually didn't take so long, another 15 minutes or something. But point being, getting around San Salvador is intense, and the city in general overall, I would say, is quite intense, overwhelming, chaotic. People were super friendly. Things have changed a lot. The safety situation has improved. It has gotten cleaned up thanks to the president who has been in office for 5 years, but still major city, the biggest city. El Salvador is El Salvador, and it is a non-touristy and certainly developing nation. But so far, so good. I am glad to be here and enjoying experiencing a different country and getting some insight into this country that is kind of little known and has a reputation that is not fully deserved. So anyways, going to relax here for a few minutes and then get out there and go see more of Santa Ana. Man, this city is a whole lot different from San Salvador. It is a lot quieter. I'm going to walk over to the main cathedral and in the process give you a little information. Centro Historico. That's where we are. A little information about the city of Santa Ana. Santa Ana is the second largest city in El Salvador after the capital of San Salvador. It is located 64 kilometers northwest of San Salvador, the capital city. Whoa! And there it is. Boom! Massive cathedral. Santa Ana has approximately 374,830 inhabitants and serves both as the capital of the Department of Santa Ana and as the municipal seat for the surrounding municipality of the same name. And then some interesting history. Pre-Columbian era. The city of Santa Ana has a pre-Columbian origin. There is evidence of pre-classic settlements in the area of the city. The city was founded by the Maya Pocoman in the classical period. The first name of the settlement is unknown. However, it was known that when the people entered and conquered the area in 1200 during the post-classic period, translated the original Nahuatl, or the local indigenous name, which was Cihuatehuacan, which means place of priestesses. Very interesting. Conquest and colonization. The town was conquered by the Spanish between 1530 and 1540. On July 26, 1569, Guatemalan Bishop Bernardino Villalpando changed the name from Cihuatehuacan to that of Santa Ana. Alright, so right around the corner, things are getting more interesting. Some street food stalls. Coconuts, alright, alright. Definitely a really nice atmosphere here. It does not feel like a major city. So on Google it showed that the cathedral was closed and opened at 3. It's looking like this information on Google is generally incorrect about the churches, because that was the case in San Salvador as well. But it was also open in the middle of the afternoon. Yeah, looks like it's open. Alright, sunglasses off. Let's take a look. So the history in many Latin American cities and towns is quite repetitive. The native people were here, the Spanish conquered, they built a cathedral, a square, a town in the classic Spanish style around 500 years ago throughout the 16th century, and since then the Spanish Empire existed for more than 3 centuries, and then eventually they got their independence. On the upside, just a kind of silver lining of the unfortunate conquest by the oppressive Spanish conquistadors. At least they left behind beautiful cities. And I say that as an American, or I should say an Estados Unidense from the United States. I find the cities in Latin America to be a lot more interesting and beautiful than in my own country of the United States. This classic old style architecture which remains 5 centuries later. Not saying it's better or worse or anything, it just is what it is. And so I don't have any specific destinations in mind to visit in the city. If I look on my phone, there's going to be the usual churches and plazas, etc., which I will find just walking around. So let's just walk around. Let's see if we see any other gringos. Not so far. I think they're all hanging out on La Playa, the beaches, which is where I will likely head next, possibly with a stop along the way in one of the smaller towns. Wow, something smells just delicious. A few different smells going on, food smells. Probably from that food cart right there. Well, it's cool to see that it is pretty happening. I wasn't sure how quiet it was going to be throughout the city. Hola! Compared to the neighborhood around my hotel, which was just so quiet. All right, let's wander this way. Well, we have a backpacker. All right, I'm not the only one. The street market continues. Looks interesting. Let's head on up this way. We look gringo enough. Got my colorful shirt, baseball cap, baggy pocketed shorts, new ones. A very long line of street stalls. Women's wear. Sort of all women's and kids' clothing, it looks like. What is this? Some sort of an abandoned factory, it seems. It's definitely seen better days. Could it be a coffee factory? This region is famous for coffee production. So, today is March 9th, smack in the middle of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere, and it is 95 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 35 degrees Celsius. It is freaking hot. I don't know how long I'm going to tolerate it, but not for a lot longer. So, as you may have noticed, I do not have my backpack on. Keeping it simple. I just have my phone, the camera here, my money pouch with about 50 bucks US, which I really don't even need because I'm not planning on doing any purchasing, but just to have a little something just in case. My ID, US driver's license, the key to my room, and that is it. Okay, we have another section of the market's scene. Let's take a look. Trippy, it's like a park that got taken over.
Por siempre lloraré.
All right, that was kind of intense, super awkward walking through somewhere where it's so, you know, kind of closed in and people hanging out, having their, you know, kind of personal gathering experience, etc. And then walking through, I already stand out, you know, as it is, and then holding a camera, but, you know, that is the way that it has to work with the travel vlogging. If you want to get the shots, is you got to just go for it, but it's not exactly fun. It's just a little, you know, kind of nerve-wracking in certain situations, even, you know, the markets here. Some places are easier to vlog than others, and certainly one factor is how much are you standing out in general to begin with. How many other gringos, whatever, tourists, foreigners are around, and what's the general scene. And this right here is like the most tricky of all of those factors, as far as like no other foreign tourists around. But very cool to see that scene there, people hanging out in the shade, getting out of the hot sun, which it is time for me to do as well, and just, you know, chilling with friends, drinking beers, listening to music, the usual good times. So there you go, the cathedral there, back full circle, and I think I'm just gonna call it done there, get back to my room, get cool, work on this video, and then head out later in the cooler evening and find some local food. So I'll see if I film anything more in the evening, but maybe I'll just wrap up this video here and get it done this afternoon, and then I'm free for tomorrow. Day tour to the volcano, which is not sure exactly, somewhere not far outside of the city, so that is going to be really cool, and I'm glad that I was able to get the tour set up with my hotel there so that I don't have to figure out the transportation out there, etc. And 25 bucks, good price for a day tour. So looking forward to that, seeing some more of El Salvador outside of the cities. All right, more coming. Hasta luego. Adios.